These guys really breached our defenses.
Man, wouldn't it be funny if this actually happened in the next SMG4 episode? I mean, chances are it wouldn't, but hey, anything could happen in this arc. So many possibilities. Hello Internet, welcome to SMG4 Theory. I'm your host, Miguel, and with the gun show arc coming to a close, it's time to make our theories before Mr. Puzzles finally busts out of prison. So let's stop waffling and get the show rolling. Alright, quick recap. During this arc, Leggy split from Meggy, and now she wants to free Mr. Puzzles. Meggy makes a deal with Leggy that if they join back together, she will help Puzzles get out of trouble. Meanwhile, in prison, Mr. Puzzles plots his ultimate escape, which leads to him meeting Tomb, who is most likely linked to the Eldritch Goop in some way, and also helping Mr. Weapons rebuild himself after his marital issues? However, before the plan is set into motion, Mr. Puzzles learns that he's been put on death row. Mr. Weapons is assigned to rob the SMG4 crew to assist in the escape. But then it is revealed that his execution has been rescheduled to the following day, and that is where we are up to. So, as we've discussed in one of our shorts, we believe this arc is ending as another movie, so we're going to go with that theory. So, we predict that this movie would begin with Mr. Puzzles' execution at the Death Cube. That is until Mr. Weapons blasts in guns blazing. But at the same time, Meggy comes in too. Now this adds a whole lot of monkey wrenches into the plot. Because of how Monitor acted at the end of the final step, the person doesn't seem to know that Meggy is trying to get Puzzles out of the Death Cube. So this will be the wacky introduction to the movie. But it's definitely going to end with Mr. Puzzles busting out with Mr. Weapons and Tomb. So now that he's busted out for real, what's next? It's quite uncertain what the villainous trio will do. Well, they're obviously going to be wanting to go after the SMG4 crew. But in what way? What plan? Well, I have a theory, because it's SMG4 theory, and of course we have a theory. This one comes from the line right here.
Wow! You, my friend, have just secured your title as the star of my next big play!
Instead of doing a movie or opening another theme park, this time, Mr. Puzzles is going to do a play. A live performance on stage where he, Mr. Weapons, and Tomb will beat the living ovaries out of the SG4 crew. So the middle of the movie will likely be setting up the moments with both sides preparing for the play, making this a possible final battle for Mr. Puzzles. But here's the catch. At this point, the SG4 crew has been fighting Mr. Puzzles so many times now that it should be quite difficult for Puzzles to fall them in his trap again. But like any problem, there's a solution. What solution? Easy. Firstly, his escape from prison and robbery of the SMG4 crew will have already drawn their attention to him, so they'll want to go after him. But what if they came prepared? Also easy. Fool them in a unique manner, and that's with Meggy, since she'll likely approach Puzzles in a non-violent manner. This will make her look more vulnerable to any trick Mr. Puzzles has, especially since Mr. Weapons took her gun. What Mr. Puzzles' trick will be is a surprise attack, as he will brainwash Meggy to control her. Then he'll use Meggy to bring the rest of the crew right where he needs them to be. And once all of this is in place, he'll let go of Meggy, reveal his face, and get the play started. Now that we've discussed their ultimate plan, what about Mr. Weapons and Tomb? Mr. Weapons has a lot to talk about. Firstly, his relationship with Mr. Puzzles has turned out to be a bit rocky, contrary to what we've said in our Mr. Puzzles and Mr. Weapons theory. This could lead to Mr. Weapons at some point betraying Mr. Puzzles, probably during the play. This allows the crew to defeat Mr. Puzzles once again, and maybe for the last time. the play itself will fall apart into pieces because of how chaotic Mr. Weapons is while fighting. Also, his relationship with Tube is similar to the relationship between himself and his kids, shown by the flashbacks of his kids when commanding Tube around and even calling Tube a half-pint, which is what he called his kids. This will develop the more caring father side of Mr. Weapons, which will lead to his redemption and proper reacceptance into his real family. As we have discussed in our previous short, Tube appears somewhat suspicious, as we have suspected him to be connected to the demonic goop, which has been reinforced when he merged with Mr. Weapons. He sprouted out the same tentacles from the ones in It's Gotta Be Perfect. Like, come on, this is getting too on the nose to be a coincidence. Therefore, what we believe may happen is that during the play, Tube and Mr. Weapons will fight as a team against Mr. Puzzles, because even Tube has shown distaste for Mr. Puzzles. But at one point, Tube gets knocked down, probably because of something like fire or electricity, and ends up failing to escape the destruction of the play. This will be portrayed as a sad moment, and will deeply dishearten Mr. Weapons, because Tube, at that point, will be like the fourth son to Mr. Weapons. But as the fire clears, we loom over the ruins where the play was and the remains of Tube. These remains then darken, it begins to move, and a demonic groan echoes out. The movie then ends as a cliffhanger. And that is how we believe the major parts of the movie will go down, from a prison breakout to a lethal play with a demonic cliffhanger. But hey, that's just a theory, and SMG4 theory. Thanks for watching.
So now that he's